You're listening to the CohnReznick Capital Connection podcast, the show that brings together preeminent affordable housing leaders as they discuss critical legislative updates for the low-income housing tax credit industry.
Welcome, everybody. This is Beth Mullen, and I'm here with Bob Moss and Dave Gasson from MG Housing Strategies, and this is Capital Connect. We're right at the beginning of June, and it feels almost like a broken record. We've been talking about housing bills for several months at this point, but why don't we first start off with another topic we've been covering related to BABA and David. I know you've been having meetings, for months on this topic, but was at NCSHA last week, and it was really the talk of the town, if you will. Everybody wants to know about BABA. What can we do? How can we fix it? The challenges it's causing. So, David, can you bring us up to speed on where we are with the various aspects of BABA that you've been working on?
Absolutely, Beth, and it's a pleasure to be here. Yes, there's been a realization across the industry that, oh my God, I think I come under the BABA statute, which is Build America, Buy America, created in the infrastructure bill in 2022. We have been working with the administration and Congress to try to alleviate this pain in the affordable housing industry that BABA has created, the mandates. And without going through all the minutiae, which we've done in the past, we feel like we're on the cusp of maybe actually getting some relief from the program. No promises yet, but HUD, the folks at HUD who have now taken over control of BABA and who understand the program and the effect it's having on housing, realize the barriers it has created for affordable housing production, mainly because of the delay in getting waivers. And the problem with the waivers is that they're realizing that domestic production does not really suit affordable housing production. They have no idea what is being produced in this country, and they'd left it up to affordable housing developers and general contractors to find out. And we have been desperately waving the white flag. A, we're not suited for that, and B, we're not getting the answers you would like us to get from the domestic manufacturers. So as we've reported in the past, HUD has an RFI out where they are going to be surveying domestic production and finding out exactly what can and cannot be attained domestically in the United States on affordable housing programs. The other piece is we have a meeting with the Made in America office and the BABA staff this Thursday in Washington, and we are going in very focused on asking them for a stay of the BABA mandate for housing programs at HUD and USDA while this RFI takes place. We have told them that we do not think it is fair to have the industry having to abide by the mandate when the federal government does not even know if it's possible to abide by the mandate. And while they do not even know what's possible to attain through domestic production. So we're hopeful for this meeting with obviously activity. We see some, and we're hoping that we have something positive to report on the next Capital Connect.
Thanks, David. Little interference there at the end, but I think we're in good shape still. So again, if we're gonna, I'm gonna say that we've got some colleagues who are working pretty actively in this space, and we're getting calls like every day to try to alleviate the situation, whether it's trying to apply for waivers or even how to apply for a waiver is still something that's very challenging. And then obviously the time delays, and as we know, time is money. Maybe like I said, I'm very hopeful that we're going to see or hear some good news on this in the very near future. So Bob, maybe speaking of time is money, we know that Congress is starting to work on their next round of bills, appropriations. Can you give us any kind of guidance where we are with that?
Thank you, Beth. I think that we're going to see some action by the time we meet again on this call, next month. But right now, the House has completed its work. The HUD budget was passed. It's not bad. It's better than last year. It's not great on home funds, but it kind of gets us halfway. The Senate always seems to rule out when they get their budget done. The Senate appropriators are working hard and fast right now we're going to be in Washington this week. And we've invited several Senate appropriating staff to speak at our meeting, but they're tied up. And so they're not even able to come up, even if we're in the same building, and talk to us. And so they're hot and heavy. And we expect that this time next month, which will be probably right after the 4th, we might see some action on that front.
Okay, so again, let's not get our hopes too high, even if the Senate does complete their work, that probably doesn't mean we're going to have any kind of actual budget by the end of the fiscal year, which is in September, right? We're
still likely to go into another CR, Beth. Like you say, the only job they have is to pass a budget, and they won't get that done. Likely. So we're probably going to go into another continuing resolution at the end of September into October. And then how long that CR will be, guessing probably till the holidays. And then they'll have to do something one way or another.
Okay.
And
So
Beth, I will just add that this is where the politics of the environment comes into play, because the Senate Democrats very much know that the House Democrats had no role to play in the House budget. The Republicans did it on their own in the House. The Senate Democrats realize in the election, the Democrats may take over the House. So they are not as eager as they usually are to pass a budget, even the appropriators who want to pass a budget, because they realize the numbers might totally change after the election when Democrats take control of the House in January. So there's not as much, oomph behind the activity in the Senate, which is why I think Senator Murray and Senator Collins are not saying eye to eye as they usually do on appropriations. I think the Democrats are kind of pushing the the brake pedal a little bit, saying, let's slow this thing down because we actually might have more say as to what goes into the budget after January.
that does make a little bit of sense. So I guess we didn't explicitly cover this, but the road to housing bill is where right now?
Well, that's
the road to housing
$1 million question.
The road to housing bill is back in the Senate. The House overwhelmingly passed their version. Overwhelmingly passed their version of the bill out of the House, and the White House came out and supported the House version. So the Senate has the bill now, and we are waiting to find out how they're going to react to what the House did. The House did include language that took out the build to rent provision that was in Section 901 of the Senate bill, and they also took out the language on the 7-year divestiture requirement. So it's much more favorable to housing now from our perspective, and we're waiting to see how the Senate reacts to that.
Okay, and everybody's back at work this week, so does that mean we're going to see something, or are folks tied up doing other things that have to be done more urgently? I mean, as much as I think housing is urgent, I'm not so sure that everybody else thinks it up on Capitol Hill.
There's a lot going on that they need to work on. They're trying to reauthorize FISA, which is the surveillance program. They're trying to get Reconciliation 2.0 over the finish line in the House now. They're very bogged down. And there's a lot of political things happening that are not making these votes easy for members on both sides of the aisle and both sides of the Hill. So it's a conundrum right now in Washington, Beth, and no one's having an enjoyable time. So we're just waiting for floor time, and we're waiting to see how the Senate reacts to the road bill. And we're hopeful. We think it's going in the right direction, but they need to get this done before the August recess.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to be one of those people roving around on Capitol Hill with you. So hopefully, as we're visiting various Senate and House offices, we can emphasize how important the housing bill is to all of us. And maybe next time we talk, there may be some action. That would be wonderful.
I hope so.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Like I said, we'll be all hard at work on Capitol Hill this week, and hopefully we will be seeing some positive results that we've been talking about for months at this point. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.